with Beat Biter and the bridge, since those are obviously very important. Uh, Back to irony. I always thought it was ironic that the bridge, which wasn't a diss song, ended up involving dissing, whereas Beat Biter, which was dissing, didn't, you know, or amount to much.
Those were business decisions at that point. Okay, now where the bridge became a diss record, and I didn't say what I said, was because Chris had the ingenuity to know that in that time rap was a gladiator sport. Oh, he's saying that, I'm gonna say this. So it was no disrespect on Chris's end. It was just that that's what rap music was about at that time.
Well, it's like
So
the show and the showstopper had nothing to.
thank you. It just made it more now with the Chris thing and the beat biter, how beat biter came about, we was on a Jerry Freisen tour. LL, me, and a whole bunch of others. Chris was on it, I think. And one day L says to me, he says, come here, Shan, I want you to hear the song. So he took me to his room and he played Rock the Bells. But my ego was so through the roof, I didn't pay attention to the song he was playing at that time. Or I might have heard the minute, yo, what's over? That's my beat. Because I didn't have a record at that time. I was singing Marley Scratch on tour as an artist with no record label. And so if Rick Rubin, there's no disrespect to L, but Rick Rubin made that beat. So if Rick Rubin felt that I should steal that beat and Shan ain't got a record deal, that's fine. But I wasn't having it. This was a time in rap where we considered ourselves original at everything. I wouldn't say a line that Dane said, or even close to what Dana said. If I'd run right away from that, I wouldn't take their beat, I wouldn't take their nothing. And so, me being that battle rapper that I was, just forget taking my rhyme and biting. You took my beat. And so, that's what led to Beat Biter. Beat Biter. And let me say this, I love Uncle L to this day. I'm older than him. I still call him Uncle L because the rest of y'all call him Uncle L. You know what I'm saying? But me and him have an understanding that we were kids doing what we did. We're grown men now. We've been past that. So L has called me and he's wanted me to get on Sirius radio and things like that. But I'm not the type to sit on Sirius radio. Yo, L, you know me, right? I'll sit there and want to smoke a blunt or something, and I'll leave dead air for 6 hours or something. So I ain't the right one to do that. Just being Shan. Shan is just being Shan.
Yes.
And since we come from that era and we know each other, it's like, you know what, you right. And so what I did was pitch him my reality show called So You Think You Know Hip Hop, which is going to be shot on this bus that I built. If you're not on my Instagram, MC Shan1, you can see this bus that I built that's going to be part of the show that's called So You Think You Know Hip Hop. And now what happens with So You Think You Know Hip Hop is you got to answer these trivia hip hop questions, and if you don't answer it right, you get kicked off on 285 or whatever highway we on down here in Atlanta. Appreciate you.
Now, one of the things that's interesting too about all of this is the competition level, but the respect level that artists had, I think, in this era that I think has gone away a lot. Like, I think obviously a lot of artists want to compete, but I don't think they strive.
They don't know what the competition is. What the competition is they think that is some you have to bring street creds into getting it. You know what I'm saying? It's like instead of just sitting there on stage and you lose today, you go home, write another rhyme, and come back tomorrow. Their thing is you lose today, you kill the nigga that says some shit about you, and that's the end of that. Didn't mean to put it in that shape or form, but messing with Shan, sometimes things fly out his mouth. But it's just totally different nowadays, that the value of life is not. I mean, come on, me and Chris would either he'd be dead, I'd be dead, somebody be dead, or we both be dead because we stood there and said blah 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 to each other. This rap game is, there's no room in the rap game for murder. There's no room in it. This is a thing to where you can build up, gain wealth, feed your family. Death is not nothing that should be involved in this. This is a sport. It's a means to make money. And if you want to bring that aspect into it, you're just gonna fuck up the whole thing, which they have done already. So it's like, whatever.
Well,
And I'm not even in the game no more, so it really doesn't even concern me what they're doing, but I can speak on it.
Well, that's why I was so glad as fans of both you and KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions, when you did the Sprite commercial thing, because that really showed that this beef was able to, move past it,
We prospered on that. But in the same instance, that was the only time you ever seen me and Chris in a battle situation was the Sprite commercial. Let me put that out there. And I still beat him up. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of your alarm.
Fair enough. So with Beat Biter and the Bridge, though, that was on the Bridge and Pop Art records?
Pop Art. Yes, it was. And Pop Art gave us a distribution deal to do Bridge Records. It was Bridge Records. I never was a Pop Art artist. They wanted me, and that's what made them create Steady B and Cool C. If you couldn't have Shan, we're going to make somebody to sound just like him, but he just wasn't as nice as me. Because I'm going to tell you, I listened to a Cool C song, and it's like, yo, did I say that? And I have to think about it. Like, yo, that's Cool C. That ain't even me. Yo, he imitated my voice. I got to give him props for that. You went so deep that you even imitated my voice, son. Come on, son.
Well, that's why it was always strange to me, and I learned later on, but early in the game, I was like, wait a minute, why did they do the Juice Crew diss when they were like putting out Juice Crew records? Like, it made no sense.
It made no sense, but who else you gonna go after at that point? You know what I'm saying? Who else you gonna go after? Let's go after the Juice Crew because we was the baddest crew in town. So go after the Juice Crew. It's gonna get you some props. No, what it did was get you life in prison. I didn't mean to say that. Look, is this FCC regulated?
No, this is just.
All right, but I'm still going to keep it cool, but it's going to still be an asterisk or two fly out every blue moon, okay? That's all I'm saying.
All to the good. So then, with Jane Stop This Crazy Thing and Cocaine, that's the, getting on the cold chilling and all that different things. So what did you notice on the business side changed when you got to cold chilling compared to before cold chilling?
That cold chilling, I could say, yo, the rent is due this week. I'm coming to get a check. Cold chilling didn't do business like the normal record company. Cold chilling was more of a family-orientated Tyrone Williams type of thing. It's like, yo, my rent is due. I'm coming to get a check. I've never seen a royalty statement, but my bills were always paid up until the point where they couldn't pay it no more. It's like, okay. You know what I mean? But Cold Chillin' wasn't a regular record company. It was just like a family thing. If I needed money, I'd go get it. If there wasn't no money, there just wasn't no money. So it was a different thing growing up in that time with Cold Chillin'. And other than, our record label was totally different than every other label that you could possibly imagine. The Def Jam artist wasn't getting the kind of props that we were getting over at Cold Chillin'.
And why do you think it was different? What made it so special?
Because of Tyrone Williams. Tyrone Williams wasn't a Russell Simmons. Is all I'm saying.
Well, explain. Break it down.
Look, Russell was more in it for the business. All right? Period. Point blank. I don't care. And Russell, I know you. And so, but Tyrone, it was business, but it was also having care for his artists. Russell's artists couldn't go to the company and say, oh, I need a check to pay rent this week. I need a check to pay rent. He couldn't do that. Russell was more on the business, and he learned it from Lior. So you know, if you go ask Leo for a check, you know you gonna have to do a song and a dance for that shit. So is all I'm saying. It was a very different atmosphere at Cold Chillin' and at Def Jam. Two different atmospheres.
Gotcha.
Although we had a Fitchelberg, like they had a, you know what I'm saying? We had a Fitchelberg and they had a Leo Cohen. But it was totally two different atmospheres.
Okay.
Lenny Fitchelberg couldn't tell us what to do. Is all I'm saying.
Gotcha. And that the thing with James Stop This Crazy Thing and Cocaine that also was so remarkable to me was the single art, because that was one of the first or early times where I saw, because this is 86, to see a dramatic photos and the back photo and all that. So why did you?
And that was the whole point of it, the message thing. Remember we was talking about messages earlier. The message thing was, don't do this. You got a pregnant girl sitting on the step, me coming out the elevator, and she's trying to beam up, and I'm stepping on her crack pipe. Because that's what it was. Pregnant women were out there smoking crack back in the days. And so that image resonated with people that knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? That image right there resonated. Like, wow, that's for real. You know what I'm saying? We were putting out that message to the rest of the world. This is what's really going on here. You know?
Absolutely. And on that single leads me to an interesting question too, which was you mixed on there, and then I also always was curious that you had mixed on Eric B. as President and My Melody credit wise. So what did you mix on your single and then the Eric B. and Rakim?
Well, let's go to the Eric B thing. Mine ain't as significant as the Eric B story. The Eric B and Rakim story was Rakim had a rhyme style that was way different. Now, who am I to judge? Because I ushered in a different rhyme style. And we thought that Rakim's style was so laid back and so, you know what I'm saying? You know how Rakim rhymes, that we laughed at him every verse that he did after I record, because Marley wouldn't record Rakim. He said, Shan, you record him. But good thing I'm glad that I was able to record him. You know, so he said, Shan, you go record Rakim. And after every verse that Rakim did, I would go to the room and Marley would try and give me instructions to tell Rakim. And I would tell Rakim, and Rakim looked at me straight in my face and said, yo, Gal, you know, and if anybody knows how Rakim talk, right? Imagine Rakim's voice and shit. Yo, Gal, ain't nobody tell you how to do your thing, right? You did your thing, right? And I just had to look at Ron and say, you know what? You right, do your thing. I'm just recording. And Rakim is who Rakim is today because Rakim had a vision. He saw himself as he saw himself. And maybe if he would have recorded with Marley might have changed something about him. To where Ra looked at me being an artist myself and understanding where he's coming from, I just threw my hands up and started recording. Boop. And that's the end of that story. And me and Ra, we laugh about this because in our minds, when we see each other, it's like when somebody owes you $20, they know they owe you $20. So when they see you, the first thing popping in their mind is that $20, right? So with me and Ra, when we see each other, well, in my mind, I don't know what pops in his, but in my mind, immediately pops like, you know what I'm saying? That day.
Yeah, I mean that's remarkable. So artistically, creatively, recording wise, studio wise, how did that affect you on your own material moving forward?
It didn't, not at all. For the simple fact, this is what we did. We didn't. At the time, when Rakim, you think he was thinking he was gonna be Rakim that he is nowadays? We were just having fun doing it. There was no maniacal plot to what we were doing. There was no blueprint. They were just, we doing it because that's what we love. I like to rhyme. You like to rhyme. There was no maniacal plot. It was just things that we like to do. and just so happen now that we're doing it, we could get money at it too. Bet, let's get it. So that was the only difference, is that we're doing something that we love, but what? Now we can get money doing it? That was the difference.
Okay.
I can go on tour and get money for doing what I was doing for free on the benches. You got me messed up. I'm out here. I'm out here now.